What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to share my story of manifestation with you on how I manifested a house the first time. So, the first time I was decided that I wanted to manifest a house, or that I was ready to believe that I could live in a house, not an apartment, was about 2017. And just for a little bit of background, some of y'all, I know none of y'all really know me or know my story, but I spent 7 years in the women's prison, and I think I came home in 2002, and I did 3 years on parole. And when I came home, my main story was I can't get a job, I can't get a house, I can't get certain approved for certain things because I have a felony. I can't work, I can't do this. I limited myself so bad because of my past. I gave myself so many restrictions and so many rules that I just got, I became a prisoner at home. Literally, I never left my house unless I absolutely had to. I never wanted my kids to go outside and play. And they did. It was on a tight string. And I was just really afraid of the world for so many years, y'all. It took me about 10 years to break these beliefs that I had about myself because of the time that I spent in jail. And I always felt like people who've been in prison or been locked up before don't get to enjoy certain things anymore in life. They not good. They not worthy. And they just don't get the opportunities that come with the good life. And so after labeling myself for so many years, I was struggling with I was coping with the loss of my brother. And my baby brother was murdered by his ex-wife. This was another big turnaround for me. And when this happened, it changed my life in so many ways. I went through the stages of grief, anger, rage. I experienced a lot of that. My brother was a lifeline to us and still is. And my brother was a very present person in my life, in all our lives, in my family. And losing him was a big blow for us, but it did lead us to gather and more with intention. And we took a family trip after his passing, and we all went to California, where and I was on the beach one day and where I got my awakening. I don't know what it was. I found the God in me, and I found the meaning of my life, and I found the meaning of what God is to me and my purpose in life on the beach one day in California. And I left there not knowing exactly what I had found, but I knew I was onto something new, something more questionable. I was ready to ask so many questions, because on the beach in front of this big, massive body of water, I was alarmed when we pulled up. I looked at my husband. I said, "Are they having a party out here? It's so loud." He was like, "That's the water, man." I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." So the way that I had never been to a beach, but I had just sheltered myself so much from everything. I wasn't used to or ready to really experience so much greatness. I couldn't stop the overwhelm of the beach. And when I got there, it wasn't even a lot of people out there, but the roaring of the water touched my soul. And I sat in the sand and started questioning life, because I'm like, if I'm this little bitty person compared to water, why am I here? I had some really soul stirring questions at that very moment. I'm feeling it again, the chills of this experience I had right there. And I started asking God, like, where are you? Where is my brother? Can I see him? Can I talk to him and tell him to help me? Open my eyes. And I had so many questions right then. Like, why am I here? What is my purpose? I'm a speck to you. Why am I important? And it wasn't until I got home that I started getting so many answers. Okay, just mind you, before I left for California, I created a vision board, not even knowing what it meant, just doing some fun with my girls at home one day. And when I got home from the beach, I looked up on the wall at this old vision board that had been there for a while. It had everything on it had happened. The beach was on there. It was It was insane. The only thing that on there that was they had not happened was a 2-story brick house. So here's the story. After that, my learning, that I can control my reality in most aspects, that I can manifest something from nothing with my imagination and my thoughts. God in me led me to find teachers like Neville Goddard, bless him, like Reverend Ike, bless him. And those two, I have to give credit to You Are Creators, Justin, and I have to give credit to Derek, the entrepreneur. Oh, he did a meditation with me for the first time that just opened my soul, and I started meditating every night. And I was sitting in my living room. Now, the project that I was living in, let me mind you, I had been in prison and so many strikes against me. I had the mother of 6 children. I'm living in a 3-bedroom project, and I had to throw away all my furniture because of an infestation of bed bugs in there, and we really literally had nothing in the living room at all. And I had a big, large space in there, so I would go sit in my living room floor in front of the window, which was huge, and I would just close my eyes and meditate. And if you don't know exactly what that means, it's you can focus on a certain thing, but in this meditation I was just doing nothing, seeing nothing, saying nothing, dismissing thoughts, letting them float on by, and just grasping and placing my awareness on the very moment. And I would start by seeing a light up the tip of my toes all the way up to my knees, and I would just follow this light all the way through my body and repeat it. Even if a thought comes up, I would just slowly dismiss it and bring my awareness back to this light in my body. And I would go to bed at night and I would just say, I could see myself in a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-story brick house. Okay, this was my song. I never stopped repeating that anthem, and I think that's what manifested too, because I saw it through and I never stopped claiming it until the bitter end. And so every night after meditation, I would climb into bed with my hubby, and he would hold me tight, and I would go right back out the room in my mind. So here we go. As I lay there, I say good night. But in my mind, I sit up and I put my feet into the rug on the side of my bed, and I feel the rug softness under my feet. Okay, literally, this is what I would do. And then I would see myself rise up and walk across my bedroom, and see the bedroom right across from me belongs to my daughter. And I'm constructing all of this in my mind exactly the way I wanted it. I had 2 small kids at the time, so I would say my son and my daughter, I want them right there where I could see them. And I would glide across their room and go into the den, where I would reach up and adjust the thermostat, okay? And I would hear the air click on in my mind. I would cross over this den area into my kitchen and open my wall oven, put my baked cookies in there and smell them cooking, and see, incorporate those. Since I did this same routine for at least 3 months, because lo and behold, as I was constructing all this, also I was writing down exactly what I wanted. 2 bathrooms. I wrote it down and put it on my wall. I slept with it in my pillowcase sometimes. I was just that obsessed with getting this type of house. But how could I afford this? First of all, let me remind you, I did not work for years. Who gave me the gall, the insight to believe this could be something for me and my family? My husband was working, true enough, but a 4-bedroom brick house, come on now. So in my mind, I never questioned how. I just always knew it was going to happen, and it was going to be built exactly the way I see it. So out of nowhere, I get a call from my cousin, which is not really rare, but about a job. It has never happened. And this cousin to me is extremely successful and beautiful. And I was just so shocked that she called me and offered me a job at her job. So, of course, even without a car, I said, yeah. And I started taking the bus to this job every day. And it helped me learn more, because on my way there, I would get on the bus and listen to books like The Secret, stuff that keep me inspired. Happy Pocket Full of Money. I would get on the bus and just go into another world. I would see this this man who drove the bus, we used to have to meet him some kind of way. The bus driver would pull up, get off, and then this new bus driver would hop on. But the new bus driver would pull up in a Mercedes, a black Mercedes Benz, and I used to be like, I can see myself driving that black Mercedes Benz, even though I'm making like $12 an hour. Okay, here we go. I got an income tax in January, which was nice. I have been working on this since I came back from the beach in September. So January came, I had the job. My cousin came and gave me the job. By March 15th, I found a house. Okay, in January, we had got a nice refund. My husband went and bought a car, picked me up from work in a Mercedes Benz. that's, just, that's just how it happened, okay? Pick me up from work in a four-door C230 or 40 or whatever it is, four-door Benz with the children. So that manifested. Right after that, I found out, that we still had a little money in the bank. So I'm like, I'm going to start looking for a house. And I'm looking everywhere. And I'm turning down stuff. Okay. I'm turning it down if it's not a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2 story brick house. Also, I have added other amenities I need, like a garden. I have added also a fenced backyard. Okay, I have added curb appeal. I have added so many things to this list. So we looking so hard all January. We don't find anything that's remotely close to what we're looking for. And by March 15th, that's the day we moved into the new house. Okay, we found one. So I was at work, but my husband called me and said, "Baby, I went to see the house that we called yesterday, but I don't think you're gonna like it. It's got wood paneling." I'm like, ugh, I don't. I have so many. I have such a lofty desire to get exactly what I want. I don't really negotiate on stuff like this. So I said, well, you know what? Anyway, let me just go look at it. Go look at it. It's a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2 story brick house in a beautiful neighborhood, fenced in backyard with a pear tree. Also with a beautifully manicured garden in the back that the man said the lady who left had had created. Now, let me also tell you that this was a private owner. How more sweet could it get? And the man worked with us. So we had money still left over in the bank. He took that and let us move in. And I just kept getting on my knees every day, shouting and thanking God, because how did this come about? First unfolded this bridge of events, and the job and everything just started falling in place. So may I submit to you, if it's anything you need, even as big as a house, imagine it, create it, and decide exactly what you want, and be a little stubborn about it. And I'm almost sure and guaranteed you can get it. So that's how I manifested my first house, y'all. I will tell you about how I manifest the second one on the next video.